Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? On this video I want to show you a couple of things and the picture difference between a variety of different picture modes. I'm watching a interview with Phil Spencer on E3 2017. After the E3 show, GameSpot was doing an interview with him. It's like half an hour. It's called Why Xbox Boss Wants to Coexist with Sony. It's a pretty cool video. It's about 30 minutes. It's some pretty cool things that he says, and you guys should check out that video. But that's not what this is about. This is about me showing you different picture modes. What I mean by picture modes, I'm talking about right here on the settings. Currently, I'm running this. This is running through YouTube. It's running in a 1080p, upscaled to 4K. But I'm using a HDR effect, strong. You see, what's new and unique about this new metadata by Technicolor and Dolby Vision and HLG, they're using different metadata to scan the frame by frame to give you the best possible HDR effect. So see right here, there's a strong, then there's a medium, and then there's light. Then you got medium, strong, and then light. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go through some of these picture modes, and we'll watch this video, and then I'm gonna go through these options right now, really quick.
I don't think I haven't seen those deals. If that started to happen,
hold on.
been in the industry, I don't think that's a great thing. I don't know that it has happened.
Yeah.
So usually, like, I don't, but I know right now the technical capability on Xbox One X is.
So I'm gonna go through some of those right now.
Look at like Pro,
Medium,
is kind of in one category.
high.
You've got a box, as you said, that can,
You see now it's too yellowish, too orange. Medium, it's too bright. And strong, it's way too bright. So it goes from brightest to the dimmest, and then very dimmed. So medium dimmed, and then very strong bright. So however, if you want low latency input lag, then you definitely want to go with the game mode. When you go to the game mode, you will see right now, when you go to the game mode, it looks much more responsive, and it's in sync with what they're saying. You know, there's no lip sync latency where it's like missing, the lips open up and then you hear the words later on after a few seconds. So the lip syncing, it's synced in perfectly with the game. But I have noticed as soon as you move to HDR effect, you noticed a little bit of that, like about like few seconds.
at a different price point and different capability than Project with Xbox One X. So I don't say Scorpio, but I don't kind of link them together. I agree with you that it's our job.
But the HDR effect really works well on the YouTube and
Really happy with the reaction.
any standard 1080p content that you might be watching. It really gets the job done. You know, no matter what you're watching, you definitely get a much better, cleaner picture, and it looks really good. I also use the same exact thing. I use it for
again, with your background as a developer, when you see consoles going the way of PC,
here, let me show you. I also use it for
does that make it harder for developers at all to account for the Xbox
my
multi-platform? Like you can tell the coalition, and you can tell 343 make your game based on these specs.
cable. Like I'll click on the cable right now, probably MSNBC or CNN. I'm like, click on it, and you will see that I'm using exact same HDR effect,
Like going to the
and you will see that it looks really good. It tells you also like where I'm at and everything.
Extremely unpopular with fellow senators. It is extremely aggressive, but activists want to see Democrats take leadership.
And when you click right here to the picture mode, you see like when you click on the strong HDR effect, you know, the peak brightness is much better, the deep dark levels are much better, and even a 1080p Comcast that you're watching right now, even 1080p Comcast broadcast looks really good.
Go bankrupt in the process.
Now you can go to the light. If you go to the light, it gets dimmed down. You know, if you go to the medium, it gets dimmed down to the medium. But if you keep it at strong, it's the best. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and use the strong HDR effect because it's the best of them all. And it doesn't have to be this. We can go ahead and go with ESPN. You know, ESPN. And you will see the exact same. Now this is from VHS that was pre-recorded something. So let's go to ESPN 2. Let's keep going. Let's go to the Golf Channel. It also depends on the source. But it looks pretty good. Here.
That's going to have a heck of a suspension system because look at the clearance or lack of between the rubber and the wheel wells. And I'm thinking those wheels may be a later Porsche vintage wheel.
Yeah. I mentioned that the 944 entry-level Porsche, the 924.
And here's a good example. Like here's this channel, NBC Sports Network. You know, the bit rate here, it's really not that great, but this HDR effect and the upscaling, even this source that it's probably 1080 interlace gets to be upscaled to a 4K with this TV and then gets to be processed via HDR, Technicolor, metadata, so that way each frame by the HDR effect, the brightness and contrast, it's even out and it looks really good. And the reason I'm showing you this is just to put key points on the benefit of this TV. You know, it's not just that it's OLED, but it has other benefits: the processing, the upscaling, the HDR effect that you can use on your standard programming like this, so you can enjoy it better. And you can see the reflection, you can see a lot of things here. It really looks great. So let's go back to YouTube. Let's go back right here to YouTube. Let's continue where we left off. And there you will see exactly the same
Two things I'd say there. We
benefits right here.
Xbox One X, looking at what was going on in the PC space, around 6 teraflops in the memory bandwidth, and frankly now that we're giving 9 gigabytes to game developers, and said, okay, if you're already building a PC game, which most of the third parties do.
Now you can go through different modes. You can go to the cinema, you can go to the game. There's the expert mode. There's the expert bright and expert dark. If you're watching in a dark room. There you have the vivid, which is too bright. Standard, which is like the standard one. This is the one that's auto power safe. And you got cinema. I wouldn't use cinema with this. You got sports. And then game. Game is the one that's like the best low latency. Like you're gonna get that best response time. It is gonna look the best. And then right here you get the HDR effect, which the one I'm using. And honestly, this is the best one.
Process for third parties is already capable from a pipeline standpoint and a rendering standpoint of creating assets and rendering assets at multiple specs. We picked Xbox One X looking at what we were learning. We happen to have Windows as well, so we kind of can see what's going on with DirectX, and said, okay, this is going to be easy to bring 4K games over, and that's the result we're getting. Our dev kit and the engagement we have.
Okay, let me just mention something here really quick, because he just said something that I've been saying way before that announcement of the specs. Remember when he gave the when he invited the guy from Digital Foundry to check the specs of the console of back then Scorpio, aka Xbox One X. And remember what I was saying on that video when I did that vlog where I was talking about it for like half an hour or 40 minutes. I basically said exactly what he just said. That they were looking at the PCs, they were looking at the SLIs, they were looking at what it takes for PC to run a proper 4K 60 game. With all of these filters, all of these anti-aliasings, textures, and all of the stuff from DirectX 12 to see what it takes to run a game that fast. And that's exactly what he just said here. That's exactly what he just pointed out. That's what they were doing. They were building the Xbox One X based on the tests that they were doing via DirectX 12 architecture and looking at different specs and what are the best specs to truly run 4K native 60 frames per second. And he just said that. I'll go back so you guys can listen to it. I'll go back over here. Let me go a little bit further down, like right here, and let's listen to him. Here we go.
Focused on two different specs. If you're a third party, you've got PC specs from dual Titan SLI in some PC, you know, all the way through maybe even an integrated GPU in a certain laptop. So I think the development process for third parties is already capable from a pipeline standpoint and rendering standpoint of creating assets and rendering assets at multiple specs. We picked Xbox One X looking at what we were learning because we happen to have Windows as well, so we kind of can see what's going on with DirectX, and said, okay, this is going to be easy to bring 4K games over, and that's the result we're getting. Our dev kit and the engagement we have from the development community has been incredibly strong.
Right.
Well, there, he just said it. You know, they've been looking at DirectX architecture. They've been looking at it. They've been trying to figure out what is the best possible specs that will work with DirectX and the hardware that they have. So they tested all of this based on the PC. I mean, and this is the argument I had with some of the people. They said, well, how do you think they built these consoles? They built them being tested on the PCs, on the computers. And based on the tests, they know exactly what parts they would need, what type of power, GPU and CPU power and memory bandwidth they would need, and what would be the best architecture to use, DirectX 12 in this case, to run native 4K steady 60 frames per second. And the reason why he sent a lot of these developer kit, you've seen these little white Xbox One X's. The reason he sent them to these developers, because he wants these developers to utilize all this power, to learn how they can unlock all this extra power that Xbox One X has. Anyway, I just wanted to mention this briefly. That's not what this video is about. I just wanted to mention this because I'm here testing the picture settings, and then he said something that it just came across to me that I remember exactly what he was saying years ago about Scorpio. So there you go, guys. HDR effect. I highly recommend you use the HDR effect on non-HDR 1080p upscale to 4K programs. They will make it look even good. Look just how upscaled good this thing is. Let me show you something. Just how good this thing is upscaled. You can even see some of the stuff. Like, see, like there's a couple of white dots right here. It's probably something that, you know, fell off of ceiling or whatnot, like a little dust particle. I don't know if you guys can see it there. And I just showed you, this is upscale to 4K. This TV has outstanding upscaling abilities, and it just looks amazing. And this is the HDR effect on non-HDR 1080p being upscaled. And it looks fantastic. It really does, man. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There will be more videos and stuff. I'm just slowly, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm slowly taking my time and testing this television. I want to test everything. I want to see how the Dolby Vision works with the 4K player. I want to see all of it. I want to get that new receiver 676, test the Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision pass through. I want to do all of this stuff. So it will take a long time. It will take a month and a half till I can finally do a proper review on this TV as it should be. You know, I want to spend a lot of time on it, and then I can tell you in 22 minutes, step by step, what I have tested, what I have seen, what the TV has, what TV doesn't have, and then you guys make your own judgment if it's worth the price. All right, guys, thank you for watching.